Hello and welcome. My name is Katie and this is Zen Nutrition. This is a place for nourishment of body, mind, and spirit. Today I want to share with you a workshop that I did here in person, and this concept of the center came to me. And I was reflecting on that. What exactly is the center? So let's start there. What does it mean to you to be connected to your center? Everybody might take a different meaning of this, and that's okay, whatever it means to you. So maybe call this to mind. Maybe you want to journal about it. But just think about what makes you feel connected to your center. For me, my center, being connected to my center means being connected to my truth, to my highest self. And what I mean by highest self is that version of you without ego, without fear, without past pain or trauma, that really highest version of yourself. When you connect with that person, you're also connected to your intuition. And your intuition is your inner knowing. And this is something that's going to be unique to everyone. So, whatever questions you have or problems in your life, looking outward can only do so much. If you really want the truest answers that are going to work for you, it's sinking into your intuition. And that's part of the center, in my opinion. Now I'd like you to bring to mind a time where you felt very centered and recall the details of that. Where were you? Who were you with? What were you doing? I find that a lot of my very connected moments are in nature, right? That is a place where probably many of us feel connected. I can recall a time just last month. It was very warm outside, and I took my paddleboard out on the lake and was laying there on my board, feeling the gentle movement of the water below me, watching the sky above me as the clouds moved by, and it was just a very present, connected moment. Presence, I feel like, is a key part of being centered as well. So when I was thinking about the center, just like with anything, we can think of it in layers, right? There's always different ways of looking at things and different layers of looking at it. So I'll break down the center in the same way. So we'll look at the physical, the spiritual, and the emotional. And we'll go through exactly what that looks like, being centered, some practices that you can take and incorporate into your life. So we'll start with the physical center. The physical center, this is our abdomen, right? Our obliques, our low back, hips. It's this trunk of our body which is crucial for stability, movement, balance. This is our foundation. This is what's holding us stable, really. It's the foundation of our body. So strengthening that physical center, connecting to that physical center is really important for our physical health. So we'll start with a practice that I like to do every morning, and it's very simple. So you don't really need to see my whole body because we're just going to be moving in circles. All you need to do is come to a comfortable seated position. You could be cross-legged, you could even be seated in a chair as long as your back is straight. So finding your straight spine, and then on an inhale, we're going to move the chest forward, and exhale, rounding the back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Okay, so we're opening up the spine, and I also like to think of this as like a corkscrew, my sit bone going down into the mat, really rooting down, grounding. and then moving in the other direction. You can go as slow or as fast as you want. And trying to link the breath to the movement. So you inhale when you go forward. And as you round the back, think about pushing the breath out. And if you close your eyes, then you can really sink into the body and tune in and see how it's feeling. So coming back to center and just closing the eyes for just a moment. Maybe placing the hands on the belly. And now just activating the abs. Flex, release, flex, release. Just creating that engagement. Really feeling this part, this area of your body. And release. And now notice how your body's feeling. Maybe it's just very subtle changes, maybe nothing at all. Maybe you're just more aware of how your body is feeling right now. And that's also a big step. Awareness is huge. I recommend doing our first body circles in the morning. That's what I do every morning. Kind of wakes up my spine, wakes up my body. It gives me a chance to just stretch. And it really sets me up for success throughout the day. So after these 2 quick physical practices that we did, just taking note of any changes. And maybe you want to journal about this, maybe you just think about it a bit. So now that we've activated and connected to our physical center, let's move to our emotional center, which is the heart. The heart is the center of our emotions, I believe, because everything comes back to love. Love is this energy which we were all created, and it's within each of us. So this is what keeps us connected. So always coming back to the heart. When we're open and balanced in our heart, then we can give and receive love easily. We can form deep relationships and experience this peace and joy. And I've heard it explained to me once that everything is coming from one of 2 base emotions, either love or fear. So when making decisions or actions or really anything in your life, taking a moment to connect to your heart and really question, where is this coming from? Where is this behavior? Where is this choice coming from? Is it coming from love or fear? And now take some time to think about that. Maybe a time where you acted out of fear instead of love, and how that changed things. I can tell you my example is when I was teaching kindergarten overseas. And so many times I would want to create the perfect class, right? But I noticed a lot of the times that was coming from fear of losing control of the class, or maybe looking bad in front of my colleagues, my coworkers. But when I shifted that and I really did it out of love, I want to create a class that just the kids have fun and they remember and they learn. It's not about me. And those were the lessons. Those were the days that were the most successful with them, is when I led from love. I'm doing this because I love these kids and I want to teach them and set them up for success. So you can see how that shift, it really changes the outcome. So now I'd like to lead us through a short meditation. This is one of my favorite ones. Really focusing on the heart center. So coming into our comfortable seated position again, Again, a nice straight spine. And this time we'll close down the eyes and start to bring awareness to your breath. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just relax. Again, in through the nose. And exhale to release. You can sigh, make any noises. And just feeling your body relax. Coming into stillness. Stillness of the body and stillness of the mind. Bringing all your awareness and attention to this moment. With each breath in and out, you feel the body relax a bit more. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest, your heart space. Notice a golden glowing light. It starts out small, but it begins to grow. This is the light of unconditional love that lies within all of us. As it slowly expands, you notice it illuminating your entire body, filling you up from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. As you're illuminated by this light, feeling so relaxed, feeling loved, feeling safe, feeling at peace. Because you have so much of this energy just radiating out, send this out to others. Imagine extending this energy out to everyone in your community, your neighbors, friends, family. As this light touches them, they're filled with unconditional love. Next, imagine radiating out further, out to the state which you live, the greater community. Imagine this light covering everyone. And notice that you're still glowing just as brightly. This source of love is infinite. So you push out even further, letting this white golden light cover all of the fellow people in your country, other countries, seeing it cover the planet, all countries, tribes, animals, plants, all life. And notice how much brighter the world shines when you shine your light. And zooming back in, focus back on the heart center, maybe bringing the hands hands over the heart center, feeling gratitude and resting in the knowing that this love is inside of you, everyone around you. When you take the time to illuminate others, you can glow even brighter. And when you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes. I hope you feel connected to your heart. This is also what connects us to everyone else, right? When we're connected in heart, this is what resides in everyone, then we are linked, we can connect with others, we can form deeper relationships. We understand people differently, in a deeper way, when we come from a place of love. So that brings us to our spiritual center. As someone who practices yoga, who has for many years, this kind of coincides, our physical and emotional center coincides with this spiritual body that we have according to the yogic traditions. So they teach that there are layers to the body, or they describe them as different bodies. I like to think of them as layers. And I won't go too much into that. I just wanted to introduce that to say that there is an entire body that is our energetic body. So the energetic body has all of these different pathways, right? Just like our circulatory system takes blood through the veins and capillaries and arteries, the energetic system is going using what are called nadis. These are energy channels. There are some smaller ones and there are some main ones. So the largest one is our Sushumna nadi, and that runs just along the spine, right? So we can kind of see why it's important for maintaining a straight spine during meditation. Well, for many things, but especially meditation, because that allows the energy to flow more freely up and down those energy channels. So along this main nadi, this main energy channel, there are 7 chakras. I'm sure you've heard the term chakra before. These are energy centers, right? So the intersection of many nadis, there are 7 major ones lying from the tailbone up to the crown of the head. And we could go into this a lot, but I'm just going to do a short introduction kind of to the chakras. We'll start with the bottom, right? Our root chakra, Muladhara. This is associated with the color red and associated with security, safety. So money is often tied into this chakra as well. So if we think base survival things, this is all the root chakra, right? So then from there, we'll move up to our sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, which is associated with the color orange. This is a little bit below your belly button, kind of where your reproductive organs live. And this is the area, as it makes sense, with your sensuality, creativity are associated with this chakra. So you can kind of see already that they kind of coincide with the organs, with our actual physical organs or things in that part of the body. Then we move up to the solar plexus, Manipura. This is associated with the color yellow. This is the seat of our personal power, self-confidence, self-esteem is all in the solar plexus, and that's a little bit above the belly button. Now we're going to move up to the heart chakra, Anahata. This is actually associated with the color green, and of course, love, compassion, empathy are all associated with the heart. And then we move up to the throat chakra, Vishuddha, which is associated with the color blue. This chakra is all about communication, clear communication, truth, speaking your truth. And I would also like to include active listening, really hearing people, because that's a key part of communication. Now we move up to our third eye. This is associated with the color indigo. This is our intuition. And then up to the crown, Sahasrara. This is our connection to the divine, associated with the color purple. So the way I like to kind of work with the chakras is to just give them some movement in the morning. I have a little like chakra wake up practice that I'll link in the description below. But you could also just do simple visualization. So imagining, these are all along the spine. So you could imagine, maybe we do this now. Have a seat, close your eyes, get comfortable. And imagine inhaling up through the sit bone, through your tailbone, up through the sacral chakra, up through the belly, the solar plexus, up to the heart, to the throat, up your face to the third eye, and imagine it coming out the crown. We could also visualize a different energy current pulling this energy down. So imagine opening up your crown, pulling in that energy, and watching as it drapes down through the face, the neck, the shoulders, the chest, the belly, the hips, and all the way down into the earth beneath you. And just sitting for a moment in stillness. And open your eyes. So maybe during that energy movement, maybe you felt something in a certain part of your body. Notice where that is and what chakra it is connected to. Maybe that could give you some clues about what you might be facing or what you might be struggling with. So that concludes my workshop on connecting to your center. So now that you have a little bit of insight into what exactly the center is, how we can look at it, how we can break it down, and the things we can do to connect to our center in all of these different ways, I really feel that it's people connected to their hearts that are going to change the world. This is how we relate and connect to each other. This is how we create change in the world. So by connecting to yourself, we're able to connect deeper to others. When we lead from the heart, we are doing what is meant to be done. We are meant to live in love. So when we connect here, we are living in our highest expression, not only for us, but for the greater world around us, right? We're creating things that are going to help others. right? If we're leading from love. So I just want to express my gratitude so much for you tuning in, giving this time to yourself. It's a busy world, there's a lot of noise, so thank you for giving this time to yourself to connect to your center, and I hope to connect with you in the future. You can catch some other classes I have on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at Zen Nutrition. I would love to connect with you. So until next time, bye.